and logic. One is a feeling, the other one is an action. When you wake up in the morning and you're feeling hungry, logic tells you, get out of bed, either warm or prepare your meal. Feeling can tell you, I'm hungry. Logic tells you, use your spoon or whatever your utensil, eat or drink. If we base our life decision based on our feelings, we don't move anywhere. You are in a car. Feeling will tell you, I want to drive. Logic will tell you, engage the key and the ignition and do the necessary and move to one place. If we stick to our feelings, we will never reach anywhere in life. If you want to approach someone you like, feelings will tell you, I like that person, or I'm in love with that person. Logic will tell you, approach, but before approach, put all your calculations in place. Because what happens when you get that rejection? Do you then say, I feel I'm just rejected, and you start becoming a crazy psycho, and now you want to enforce your heart feelings on the person who rejected you? No. You've been rejected is either yes or no. When you approach this person, doesn't mean that you are the only person who's in their mind or on their phone or in anything. They could be busy doing another thing. And yes, they gave you a time to listen to. It does not mean they were interested in you. It's very important to understand where to park your feelings and where and how much logic is very important. Logic, feelings will tell you, I want to cross the street, or I need to cross the bridge. You feel. Logic tells you, you better cross it or get stuck where you are. If you want to go to the bank, your feeling will tell you, I am rich. I feel I am rich. Logic will ask you, have you banked into this bank that you want to? Have you deposited? So would you want to be given a benefit based on money you've placed, you've banked with, or you just woke up one day and thought you are the rich person? You just can't feel everything. Logic, use your brain, put it to work. When you're in school, and when you're going to school and then there's an exam, it's a tough one. It's one of those tough exams. So I feel I don't want to go and do the exam. Logic will tell you, fine, you don't want to do an exam? Good, so you're not going to be credited within the system. So that means you should not then complain if you never get any results because you never were there. Yes, you can go into that exam room, fail. You are present. And the fact that you are present, it could be that time whoever is the examiner chooses to, because it was a very tough exam, and put cap it in a way whereby even the one who failed, even though their name, somehow they just guess marks. But you never went there. You felt it. You're sick. You're very, very ill. You feeling you are sick. Logic tells you, go get medication or go to the hospital or. We cannot rely on our feelings because we'll go nowhere. That feeling has to have an action prompted, and that's where logic kicks in. And that's why it becomes interesting when someone claims they feel they are. For example, when a man claims he's a woman because they've cross-dressed and they claim they are a woman. They felt they are a woman. Okay, let's come to logic. Can you handle menses? Can you handle labor pains? Can you handle what women endure? Biological women. Okay, you are a woman. You want to say you are a man. Fine. Can you handle the weight that comes with being a man? If you are locked up, would you go in a male prison? Would you survive just because you cut off part of your bodies, or you felt? Yeah, your feelings, yeah. You need to open your eyes and ask yourself, who am I fooling at the end of the day? Who am I really playing with? For example, it's politics. There's a particular politician who needs to step out of power. Feeling will tell you, I don't like that person. That person is stealing from us. Logic will tell you, make sure you vote wisely. That means you have to wake up, go, be a registered voter, and vote. But when you say, I don't like him, and I don't like her, and there's no action you prompted, you're as worse as the politician themselves. Because you're not thinking logical, you're thinking feelings, emotions. Well, last I checked, emotions don't take us so much far when you think about it. But we need it, but where it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be the 100%. Could be the 10% or whatever. But we cannot think emotionally to every decision that we make in life. Every time we make a decision, we have to ask ourselves, what are the situations that are ahead of us? It's like military personnel. They are feeling in their spirit somewhere that the enemy is 100 miles away. Either let's say they are coming towards their end. If they're coming towards their end, logic should tell that military or general to prepare his team, to organize that they've covered every area to which they can be attacked, and to ensure that they have no element of surprise. If they're going towards the enemy camp, that feeling that he or she had, as they lead the team, they'll have to make sure they've covered every angle. And they have sent their scouts to go and confirm the enemy camp, where they are, what they are doing, where all the most important things they need, what are the communications, so that they don't deploy other people. So they'll have to make sure they take out their food supply, take out their communication, so that they don't get the cavalry from the other side coming to attack them. So they're able to take down one team and proceed to the other one. But if they use their feeling and they end up in the enemy camp, gone. In fact, the enemies will be thinking, are these guys high on something? Because they've never had a clean slate war. They can choose to kill them, they can choose to let them live, they can choose this, they can choose that. We cannot think emotionally, think logically. Emotion is the first thing that will pop up. I felt, I saw, I think. Logic tells you, prepare, plan, then take action. You can't be reliant of your feelings without your action. If you've been heartbroken, you feel pain, emotion. Logic will tell you, take a pause. Whatever it is that could be a trigger, take a pause. Go back. Reevaluate. Could it be that there's a role that you played, or words you uttered, or actions you did that would have led to this? Or could it be that the person to whom you're investing in have issues that they have not resolved, and you are the one who was working through to sort out their issues? Logic. Emotions will tell you, I'm just heartbroken. You want to go into a plane. You board a plane. Yeah, you board a plane. Feeling will tell you, I feel like I want to fly from country 1 to country 2. Logic will ask you, have you registered? Do you have a passport? Do you have your visa application? Do you have all the other documents needed? Are they stamped? As you're approaching, what types of airline are you taking? Are you doing intercon? All those things that entail. What do you do if you're not having it's a direct flight that you'll have to make stopovers? So in that stopover, and maybe you're being moved to another plane at a particular time, and this 6-hour gap, will you stay in a hotel? How will you eat? How will you do this? How will you... All those. Logic. But feeling told you wanted to go to the other place. Logic prepares you. You cannot think with the emotions. The emotion is there. It's good, because without it, well, become crazy. But it cannot be the means to the end. You have money, and you've seen something you want to buy, I feel I want to buy or purchase ABCD. Logic will ask you, this money that I have I budgeted it to be able to purchase or acquire whatever I want? Just because you have the money does not mean it was meant for a particular thing. It has to be within your budget, because whatever you want to buy could be above your budget. Or you're saying, feeling is, I want something cheap. Logic will ask you, how long is it possible to have calculated and said, I'm going to buy X amount that is going to be durable from this point. In terms of all the times I'm buying cheap things, and when I do an average, I'm better off buying one thing that was durable than always repeating one thing over and over and over again. We cannot make our life decisions based on feelings. Let's go to religious leaders or on the faith, religion, however you choose to look at it. You feeling that you want someone to be prayed for ABCD. You want to be prayed for 1, 2, 3. Logic will ask you, have you started with your own prayer? Okay, this person or this church or whoever you want to deal with, do you have a little understanding of how they operate? Because you could go to a place thinking they are praying for you, but man, they're imparting demons on you proper, because you're not asking the right questions. Or you notice a red flag and then you ignore, say, no, maybe this is how God works. God is not a fool. God will not force you to make a decision that you didn't want to make. People don't cheat. They start with the feelings. You see those thighs, see those bum, see those, you're like, when I get that, I will do something. Logic will ask you, is that person married? Is that what you really want? Was it friendship or was it lust? So it's lust. Are you sure they don't have other diseases, So what happens when you say, I'm going to sleep in her house, or vice versa? That house you're going to, who pays the rent? How do they live? What if you get into that person's house and then the owner of the house comes? Who's going to sleep under the bed? When the others on top are doing their things, you're hearing all the screams, you're down there. What happens? You didn't think logically. You thought emotionally. You are moved by your thing. Now you have to sleep there and pray. And mind you, maybe it's those homes that even have those dogs, those dangerous ones. So now, one, you're under the bed. You can hear everything. You can even hear them discuss about you. You're still under the bed. You can't get out of the house because the dog will have the, you will be sweet meat. Sweet. You can't get out. So you're stuck there because your feelings put you in that problem. Every time you feel something, use your logic. Take one step back. What do I really want here? Who's fooling who? Put all the calculations you need. You feel you want to do a wedding. Do a budget. So you want 500 people to come. What entails 500 people? Who's going to plan this plan? Are you telling me that the man who's struggling has already paid dowry, that struggling even to figure out your dowry part, and then want him to do this crazy wedding? And then, so he takes a loan for the dowry, then takes a loan for the wedding, and then after the wedding now, even the honeymoon is took a loan for that. And then when you start life, now he has to pay the debt, he has to sort out the dowry he never sorted, he has to sort, really, you're living a life in debt. When all you could have said is, I have this, I have that, you agree with your family, I may agree on my end, this is where we meet. And if they say this, we can't, you have two options. You can say, I love you too much, but they love you more. Go. Or you to decide, okay, we are together, let's go and find someone who's more reasonable with us, who can help bring these two families together, and we agree to something, and then any other thing we can sort it out later. Logic. Use this brain. Logic. Feelings get us in trouble when we fail to use our logic. It is good to feel. We are human and it's important. But if we don't make decisions and understand what we are doing, it's like, like when you have a dog. When you have a dog, when it's chasing something, a cat, whatever it is, they don't always most times they don't even keen on their own self. They only have one aim: chase and attack. And if there's a cliff, mind you, it will jump. Sometimes if you have a dog on, you have to be very cautious with what your dog is chasing. Or even if you have a cat, you have to be keen on what is chasing, because sometimes they don't even look at where they're going to fall. They're centered on one area. And sadly, sometimes they'll end up falling or something will happen. Like right now, I have a cat which went up a tree and now it's confused how to calm down. Just a minute. Calm down slowly. Now you can do your thing. Now it's happy. It was there. So anyway, logic versus emotion. Think logically. It's good to feel. And that's important. But let it not be the one that drives you. Logic. Look at all the options on the table. Be logical in your decisions. Because feelings will get you hurt. Logic will help you maneuver around it. Think.